Typical man.
Before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Dirt.
I'm Ben.
Whenever I hear that title, I always think of the 2.5 Men song. Am I the only person who thinks that?
I don't know
I've
enough
never
about
watched
2.5
Men.
Men. Is that really what the theme song?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, they're lazy.
Well, they spent all of their money on
Charlie
Sheen, so they're just
they
like
spent it all on Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
He was in that show
After Charlie Sheen got kicked out or something. I don't know. Whatever controversy he got himself involved in, they replaced him with Ashton Kutcher. How do you know the theme song but you don't know that?
That's not paying attention. You're right, Stu.
It was
All
just
right.
like, oh, my favorite show's on. Men.
Man, Charlie Sheen looks a little different.
It's okay. Maybe this is like a flashback
for 3 seasons.
How many? I don't. I think we're gonna have to look that up, but
no, we don't.
Later. Yeah, we do. I want to know how many seasons it lasted because I know that it's. I think it's still. Is it still called UPN 13? What's that channel? Dude, I haven't had regular cable television in probably 10
Watching
years.
regular TV. What year is this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like.
All right, Grandpa, let's get you to sleep.
Wait, I have to yell at these clouds really quickly.
I need to watch my show.
It's Madlock on.
Madlock.
All right. So outside of our movie of the week, I know it's been a little bit of a break. Ben, did you see anything else over the Memorial Day weekend?
I did. I know it's been a while, but I got to watch the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie.
Oh, the one that makes the reference to like the Schneiderverse and all that.
I thought it was a show.
No, it's a movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and I gotta say, it's definitely worth a watch. I definitely had a lot of good chuckles out of it. It was not what I was expecting. So if you don't know anything about that movie, just go into it completely blind. You know.
As I intend to. I totally forgot about that.
Did you watch Chip and Dale growing up? Like,
I think I did, but not like to the point where I remember it a lot.
Okay. Well, I don't think you need to have like extensive background knowledge.
I don't need to know about the C and DCU.
Yeah. No, but I, as someone who didn't watch it growing up and only knew like, you know, just very auxiliary information of like, okay, that one's Chip, that one's Dale, and they're
rescue rangers
of some sort. Yeah, and whatever a rescue ranger is, you know, that I think that's enough information to get you through it. So I definitely highly recommend watching it. And I also got to watch another movie, although this was quite a while ago. What was it, on May 15th? I got to watch the remake of the movie Sunshine. Did you all ever watch Sunshine?
They remade it?
Yeah. David, have you seen
Evans
Sunshine?
I don't know anything about that movie.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, it's about a group of like scientists that like travel to the sun and nuke the shit out of it.
Because we're gonna restart it.
Yeah, because they're gonna restart it.
We're gonna jumpstart.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they remade this?
Yeah, they remade it.
How do they remake it? It's not even an old movie.
Yeah, so instead of a group of scientists, it was...
Wait, hold on, wait, really quick. Stu, how old do you think the movie is?
It's like 2000 something.
2007.
It's not that old.
It's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're just remaking movies now because 15 years went by. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure didn't they do that with the Star Wars stuff?
It doesn't make it right.
James Bond's been remade almost every 3 years.
That doesn't count. It'd be like if they're just remaking Dr. No every 5 years or something.
So instead of the group of scientists, it was actually the Dallas Mavericks, and they just nuked the fucking shit out of the fucking Phoenix Suns.
Wow. It's been a few weeks, so
good.
I was holding on to that for so fucking long. All right, you don't know how long I want to use that. All right,
it's like
I was just watching that. Oh, here's the best part.
It's a group of Mavericks traveling to Phoenix to face the sun.
Dallas,
we
gotta nuke that sun,
and they really did.
And
we obliterated it off the face of the
destroyed Chris Paul's legacy, never to be recovered ever again.
So Letty was like pretty glued to the screen when we were watching the first quarter, and I didn't want to interrupt her, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go pick up food. Just tell me what you want. I was out for like 30, 45 minutes getting food. I came back.
Halftime.
No, it was in the second quarter, and
Down by 4.
the Suns went up by 2 points, while the Mavs went up 20 or some shit. And at that point, they were already at a 40-point gap, and it was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was so bad that during halftime wasn't the court booing?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that was a great game 7. That might have been the greatest game 7 I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it depends on what side you're on.
On both
If you,
sides,
if you
I
live
play
in
both
Phoenix, that is the
sides.
greatest tragedy, it's the greatest car accident I've ever seen in my life.
That way I always come out on top.
Best record in the NBA. How could we go wrong? Whatever. Stu, what about you?
Oh man, I feel like I've watched a number of things.
No, about the Suns and Mavericks.
Oh, what do I think
I
about
don't
Suns
care
and
what
Mavericks?
movie you're watching.
Yeah, which quarter did you watch?
Fuck the Suns. Wait. So wait.
No,
Movie?
please
I'm
continue.
confused.
What movie did you see?
Well, it's been a minute, so I've watched a number of things. Nothing like super notable. I think probably the most notable thing I've watched is I started watching Kenobi.
Oh, okay. You saw the first 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, I think the third episode's out now,
Yep.
but yeah, I started watching that.
How do you feel? I guess my question is, it's more about release schedules than anything else. Ben, have you been following Stranger Things? Or do you not watch that anymore?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or I haven't finished the 3rd season yet, so.
So I know that there's a little bit of there's just some scheduling stuff that everybody's kind of doing differently, right? Kenobi and the Disney thing is every week they release 1 episode until they get to the end, right? Very traditional TV scheduling. The other options are, Walking Dead. They split the final season into 3 like 8 episode chunks. There's Stranger Things, which has 9 total episodes. They released 7 all on the same day, and then they're going a month before they release the 2-part finale, 2 episodes to make up 1. Out of that, is there like a trend that you guys prefer out of the 2, or kind of like also Better Call Saul, right? We got the first half, and then we're going to get the second half a little bit later. Do you know if we have a release date for that yet?
It's a June or July, I can't remember.
July. It's probably July. But yeah, so of those different options, which one do you feel like it suits you guys a little bit better? Would you guys prefer like the weekly thing? Do you like getting all of them and binging it and then waiting until the second half of it comes out? Or
I definitely like just the once a week release schedule. I don't like it when they just release the entire thing all at once because it's bad for my my sleep schedule.
is it mostly because you're trying to avoid spoilers? Because if there
No.
are 7 total episodes out, it's like, well, I can't go on Twitter because somebody might spoil something because they didn't sleep or didn't have a regular job.
No, I don't. That's not my concern. My concern is just like not being like, oh, it's 2 a.m. I can watch another. It's only 45 minutes. That's my main concern. But yeah, I think once a week is fine. I'm not. What you told me about Stranger Things. That seems stupid.
I think it's mostly just to stay relevant, right? They want to get that,
They want,
I
guess.
the screen uptime, right? They're like, oh, we got the largest debut, we had the longest watch times. I was like, well, if you release 7 episodes, people are going to watch all 7 episodes in one sitting if they can.
Yeah, there's probably some business logic to it.
But yeah, that's what we did. We binged the entire first half of Stranger Things and starting to kind of go back. I don't know, all the pieces kind of seem strange.
Oh, okay.
Or like, okay, fine,
You're
it's
not
hard to kind of
yet, David. You can't start those.
Whatever. That's an unintentional one. That wasn't on purpose. But I guess those kind of just sneak in once you put the shoes and the bag and the pants and the shirt on.
Once you start tucking your t-shirts into your short shorts.
If I start wearing socks with sandals, I think that's the icing on the cake.
If you ever walk by a stark white pair of New Balances, and you're like, "Oh, those look good."
You know what? Those would pair well with everything. You mean the nurse's shoes?
Those would pair well with my calf-high socks.
And my tan khaki shorts.
Yeah, shorts that are like 3 inches above my knee.
Too high. Dude, can I in this illusion? Can I actually grow a mustache? Because I would really like to be able to grow a mustache in this one.
Yeah, I think part of being a dad is just you're so sleep deprived you just don't remember how to shave, or you don't remember how to shave, or
shave half the mustache off.
So you just eventually it just fills in with enough time.
Huh? No, I tried that. I think I went ages like 14 through 18 without shaving once, and it didn't do anything. That's 4 years. So.
Those are like probably the worst years for you to try to grow a mustache. Guys, I'm like 8. I'm like 12 years old right now. I've been trying to grow my mustache for.
Growing up in like when you guys were in like junior high, did anybody was like, dude, I'm growing some peach? I was like, dude, shut up. Like nobody can grow facial hair at this age, and if you can, you're probably way too old to be here.
How many grades did you get held back?
Who got held back?
No, that's what you're saying to the person who's saying that.
Oh, wait, he's in 8th grade and he can drive himself to school? Something's wrong.
He parks in the teacher's parking lot.
All right, this is going too far. We don't want to go that way. Okay. Some extra news coming out this week.
Real quick.
What?
Shut up.
What?
Did you? Has anyone else started watching Kenobi?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just me, or is it? Did they hire Did they cast like a 5-year-old to play a 10-year-old? Or is that what 10-year-olds look like? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't hang around kids. I don't know.
Actually, I'll
David,
tell you
what do you think? Since you're the expert.
Ben's just like
he's not even
down
born yet.
Bracelet.
Come on, David. We know you've been looking at reference books. Come on.
What? No, the book is called "What to Expect When You're Expecting." How does that have anything to do with children's books?
I don't know. When are they releasing the movie? Come on. All right. So
Ben, just think back to before you got under house arrest. What do you remember?
Oh man.
I will say this. It's really hard to be able to tell how old somebody is because of the fact is right after we graduated from high school, right? We went off to college. First year I went back just to visit. I was like, dude, when did they start letting like little kids in here? And they're like, oh, those are freshmen. I was like, what? So the age gap, like the age gap for there is like what, 3 or 4 years difference, and I couldn't even tell that. I thought they were way younger. So maybe it's just as you get older and older, everybody is just younger than you, and you're just like,
I think when we're young, everyone who's like in an upper class seems like they're an adult. Like relative to us.
And now that we're adults, everybody seems like a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I don't really have any point of relevance for like how old people should look anymore. So that if you said that little girl in Kenobi was like a freshman in college, I would believe you.
It's like, extreme. Oh, because time's so warped, you can't even tell. It's just like, yeah, sure, okay, why not? Sure. I got no reason not to believe you. Just tell me whatever you want me to believe.
You see, because the theory of relativity time dilation says that
as you get closer to the end and the further from the beginning, you're something, whatever. All right.
But I don't know, something about her, she just seems way too young, even for a 10-year-old, just because, like, she runs away from stuff, and, like, nobody seems to be able to catch her at her, like, half a mile an hour sprinting pace.
Is the Force.
You're talking about the one that's playing young Leia?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just figure this out really quick. Hold on.
Yeah, how old is she? This is not for anything weird. Okay.
We don't diddle kids.
Hey, we're only diddle.
We gotta write a song.
Diddle, Ben.
We gotta write a song to make people know that we don't diddle kids.
Leia Organa is played by Vivian Lyra Blair. She is 10.
Way.
Dude, right on the money, dude.
That's so. I feel like when
Actually, she'll be 10. Actually, she's 9. She will be 10 in 3 days. June 4th, 2012,
I gotta
2012
say,
is her birthday.
she runs like a 5-year-old. I gotta say, like,
Dude, that's acting, man.
It's probably OSHA.
She's not. Yeah, OSHA. There's an OSHA compliance. You can't. Minors, they can't run faster than 2 miles an hour. So
they got a speedometer right there, and a cop just right
cops just got it clocked on a radar thing.
Hey, slow down. It's child labor laws.
Man, you know how fast you're going.
And we really know a lot about the movie business.
I'm sure
Tell
if you
us more.
go through some credits, you can just pick out a random job and say that's what the guy does.
He's a compliance officer, but he's just a fancy
craft
title.
services.
Assistant to the assistant. All right. Let's move over to our box office rundown. At number 1, no surprise, Top Gun Maverick with $160 million.
Okay.
And number 2, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 3, the Bob's Burgers movie.
Woo.
Number 4, Downton Abbey, A New Era.
Ooh.
Number 5, The Bad Guys.
Woo.
Number 6, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo. Oh
Number
yeah, I
7.
also watched that.
Again?
Yeah, I watched it this past weekend. I forgot to say that.
Okay. Number 7, the Sonic the Hedgehog. You really want this A24 thing to keep going on.
It's not me. It's America.
All right. Number 7, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Woo.
Number 8, The Lost City.
That's still in theaters?
Yeah. Theaters for 10 weeks total so far. The same amount of time as Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo.
Number 9 is Men, our movie of the week.
Man.
Number 3, F3, Fun and Frustration.
What
the
No
fuck is
idea what
that?
I have no idea what
I
that
thought you were gonna say it was like Fast and Furious 3 or some shit.
Back to
is. Falling out of the top 10 is Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, and I believe the Firestar
Morbius.
or the what?
Morbius.
I think that's coming to DVD. I think that's coming to Blu-ray or DVD now.
Yo, holy fuck! I hope that there's
Morbius
4K on it.
Morbius is gonna get released to VHS. That's how much people care about it.
Man, what a collector's item! I'm gonna buy. I'll take 10.
Actually, I think that was one of the things I saw over the weekend, like a couple weeks ago.
You saw Morbius too? Oh
no,
cool.
the
didn't see you in the
documentary called
theater.
The Last Blockbuster, the one that's in
Oh.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that?
I thought it was in Alaska.
No, the 3 that were in Alaska actually closed, and the one in Oregon is still open. It's the last remaining.
Is it like an
Blockbuster.
independently owned, like the Blockbuster Corporation is defunct, and it's just like the guy who ran
Actually,
that one.
Blockbuster is owned by, I believe, Dish Network, Dish TV,
The
and
worst,
they have to
of TV
license them.
providers.
They have to license them the name every year. So that was like one of the things that they wrinkles that
Jesus.
they went through. So yeah, Blockbuster still technically exists for now. Pretty interesting documentary. I would check it out.
Saying to shift all my investments into Dish Blockbuster stock.
No, don't do what Ben did and he put all of his money in Movie Pass.
No, don't do it again. Like,
Ben, it's back.
Did it come back yet, Ben?
It did.
and guess how much money I put in? Part 2.
Can only go up from here.
Stonks go up.
You can only go up from 0.
Diamond hands. Okay.
What do you mean there's negatives?
What do you mean I owe you money now?
All right. Any comments, questions, concerns about the top 10?
Where's Morbius?
Can you say it fell out?
Morbius, if just for kicks and giggles, number 22 on the list. It grossed $29,000.
Damn, you just can't stop it.
But how much did it make? $29?
$29,000. For you to be able to break into the top 50, you have to at least have grossed $343, and that honor goes to Mondo Kane.
Was that a Bollywood movie?
It is.
Oh,
I think so. The distributor is Keynote Lorber. I have no idea. I think that's a person. I'm assuming.
So it's like anyone just release a movie on their iPhone and they can make that list.
As long as you can sell, at least make $500 worth, right?
All right.
just like Morbius.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get a video of JB and we're just gonna get I'm gonna get all of you to pay me for it.
Damn, I'd buy that for a nickel.
Wait, but what's JB doing?
What it doesn't matter.
I guess we'll have to find out. You'll have to rent it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll be executive producer, and I'll invest 5 T-bone bones
Yeah.
or 5 tomahawk bones.
Yeah. There you go.
Ooh. That's a buy-in for sure.
Get the executive producer credit.
Yep.
I wanted to check in with you guys. Did you guys follow anything about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation court case?
Not
Yeah.
closely. I just kind of like would see YouTube videos titled with
That
stuff.
it's going all crazy.
But I did
So,
hear the
what happened?
verdict today.
What do you guys feel about the verdict? Happy?
I'm glad that it shook out the way it did. The only thing I'm not glad about is that we probably never get a Jack Sparrow again.
Womp womp.
Why? Wait.
So I
why
hope
would
it
that
was
be
worth
the
it.
case?
Fucking Amber Heard, you stupid. See you next Tuesday.
I don't get it.
For those who aren't following along, or for people who listen to this episode many, many decades later, the result was that they were both found to have been horrible human beings to each other. And Amber Heard owes Johnny Depp $15 million. Johnny Depp owes her $2 million in punitive damages. So net is negative $13 million. Oh, wait, you have your divorce settlement for $7 million that you pledged or had already
supposedly pledged.
Yeah. No, pledge is fine. That means I promise I'll give
Yeah,
it to you.
it's like,
she
I'm
never
gonna
actually
do it
donated the money.
eventually.
So luckily she didn't donate that $7 million. So that'll help.
Yeah.
So that means that she just needs to find another $8 million from her Aquaman.
Oh yeah, that's probably
That's
in her
not
couch or something.
happening. Yeah, I don't know how she's gonna work that off, but that should be pretty fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to our movie of the week, Men. Ben, did you have one for this, or do you want me to do it?
I do have one for this, unless you want to read yours.
I don't think mine's very good though.
Mine either, but here I go. So
Well,
there
now
I
I'm gonna hear
was.
both.
Okay, fine. Well, let Stu decide. I guess I should go first, just in case Ben's is way better.
Wait,
Okay.
do you guys have this written down? Like, how many sentences or paragraphs is it?
Mine is 6 paragraphs.
Oh, Jesus. I
It's
forgot
actually
David
the entire. It's the entire synopsis. I didn't know where to take the break.
David's synopsis are just the entire movie plot.
No, it's just
Exterior. Sunshine.
Establishing shot.
foggy. All right. When Harper loses her husband, she retreats to the countryside to find some peace and quiet, but discovers that her vacation comes with much more than she bargained for. That's as far as I got.
So 6 paragraphs in Chinese or something.
Yeah, it's all in characters. I had to translate it. All right, go ahead, Ben.
So there I was attempting to watch
So
this movie, Men, when I was approached by a female. This female asked if the seat next to me was taken, but obviously didn't see my 32-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast occupying that seat's cup holder. But being the exemplary man I am, I moved both my 32-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast code red as well as Kamiko Chen. I dusted away my Doritos nacho cheese crumbs away from her seat and tipped my fedora ever so gently in her direction. The female actually let out a small giggle, obviously due to how taken she was with me. During the film, I offered her some of my limited edition Guy Fieri Flavortown Pepsi salsa, but she delicately declined. I asked her 37 minutes, 43 seconds into the movie if she had any interest in the works of Alex Garland, director of the moving picture we were now viewing. Of course, a female would have no insight into the complex world of cinema. The female must not have heard me, so as she continued watching the screen, obviously not appreciating the juxtapositions and metaphors. I informed her that Alex Garland's first film wasn't actually the critically acclaimed Ex Machina, but rather the directed hidden gem of 2012's Dread. It was then I saw her cry, probably because the female on screen was being quote unquote gas lit. I extended over to her my Sonic the Hedgehog 3 handkerchief so that she could wipe away her feminine tears. But it was at that moment she got up and left. It's true. She was too overwhelmed by my gentlemanly demeanor. A fool this female was. She missed out on the decade's best film, a depiction of the greater gender, men.
I think I enjoyed that more than the movie.
Yeah, I agree with you as well.
Like the subtle comic book guy voice.
Actually, first movie ever. Wow, that was great. That was great.
Do you have
Alright,
that like
so-
actually written down? I want to include that in the like the description when we post this.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Why not? Sure.
And
why
then
not?
start scrolling, kind of like the Star Wars credits as it's happening.
Yeah, do they have like a Star Wars credits tool?
Oh,
that you
they're
can-
100%. If
Yeah.
there isn't one, I will find you one, Stu. And I'll have that entered in.
I'll clip that as like a highlight or something.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Ben, you need to email me that. I will figure out a way to turn that into an MP4, and then I'll send it over to Stu. You can put that in. That was fantastic. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on another call.
Wrap it.
That's probably it's not going to get any better than that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Better go out on a high note.
Yeah. All right, Stu. Thoughts on Men?
So yeah, I don't. This movie was weird for me. It started off. I went into it really interested.
Mhm.
Because like from what I had seen and especially the poster, just kind of creeped me out. I was like, oh, this might be like a cool kind of a creepy or like psychological whatever movie.
Right.
And so I feel like for the most part that's what I got, or that's what we got. Although I feel like about halfway through the movie, I feel like it pulled the rug out from under me and started to get the your typical A24 weirdness. I was starting to get reminded of what do you call it? Midsommar. Just in like, I don't know, just it started off so promising, I feel like, and then I feel like for me it just kind of fell off
Flat.
into the weirdness, into this is too weird for me, pool, or whatever you want to call it.
Did you almost feel like you were I don't know. By the end of this movie, I felt like I was unqualified to be able to.
Yeah, I was
talk
like,
about this movie.
I'm like, did I need to do some reading beforehand or what?
I felt like I did something wrong.
Like, I'm like, get the feeling where I'm like back in college and I walk into the class and there's like a test. I'm like, oh fuck, there's a test today.
Wait, where's my pants?
Yeah. Well, that was normal.
That's why you always have to wear two pairs.
I was the guy who showed up with no pants. That was the guy. That's what they called me. Oh, old pantsless Stew. That's what they called me.
Stu, quote unquote, pantless yang.
Yeah, Stew, no pants.
I'm hoping that you get Keith gets you for Secret Santa this year, and he remembers
can
this
get me a-
particular episode, so he could buy something related to that. I'm really hoping.
Yeah,
for
here's an empty box that has no pants in it because you're
P.S.
no
There's
pants.
a note in it. P.S. It was pants, but you're not allowed to have any.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, because I was prohibited from them. That's why.
That's why he's pantsless. All right. Stu, before we get into more trouble talking about this, it clearly seems like it's going to go that way. Do you have a score for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna score it basically what my enjoyment throughout the movie was. It was a 5 out of 10.
Was that a sliding scale? So if you split the movie in half,
Yeah,
would you have given it a higher?
It started off
6,
like strong and then
8.
finished low for me.
Right. So that's how I felt about it. The same way. Felt like out of the gates, premise is really, really good, and then it really let me down towards the end. I was just like, okay, I kind of have an idea where this is going. So for me, it's the same. It's going to be a 5. What about you, Ben?
I feel like
Well,
Ben's gonna enlighten us.
well, this is, from critically acclaimed director Alex Garland of Ex Machina fame and Dread, and
And
it's
also
Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Annihilation. Let me tell you about that
Hey,
zombie
I will
bear.
tell you this. If there was a zombie bear in this movie, I would have raised my score from a 5 to an 8 again. It would have been a high.
Well, let me tell you, because let me
Please tell
tell
me
you.
you have this part written down too.
Yeah, I do. It's a 4 out of 10 for me.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah. I am in a similar situation with both of you. I had pretty high expectations going into it, and the hook for the movie was there. I was very interested in what was going on, but as the film kind of progressed, yeah, through that halfway mark, that's when things kind of took a turn, and I was still intrigued at that point, but into the last third of the movie, that's when, like, you know usually some sort of payoff comes from it, that some sort of realization, and I understood what it was going for, but I don't think it was executed particularly well, and it wasn't very rewarding once you kind of fit all the pieces together. It's just like, oh, well, that's
I
okay.
feel like I agree with you. I feel like the message is fine. Like I
Yeah.
get it that is very. I feel like it flipped that switch, and that switch was so sudden.
Well,
That's what probably gets me the most.
it wasn't so much that, I guess, like, that part of the movie was completely fine with me, personally. It's just that I don't think that it really tied together very well with the rest of it. It
Oh, it
definitely
felt rushed.
it didn't even feel rushed. It just felt like it was very poorly packaged together. Like, it was just a whole bunch of pieces that kind of fit together, but it really shouldn't. It's like putting, two pieces of an action figure together. That's like, oh, these kind of look like they fit together, but they're from different things.
Feels off a little bit.
Like it felt like this movie had something it wanted. It had an idea, an overall idea it wanted to kind of kind of tackle or explore, but it didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's I feel like towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it definitely went over that wall of, like, okay, this is just getting too ridiculous, like, I'll get into the spoiler section, but the that finale was just,
It's like
I
again,
understood,
we're
like,
doing
yeah,
it again. Okay,
yeah,
one
like,
more. Okay.
I understood what I was going for, but I'm like, it better not happen. Oh, it did. Okay.
It better not happen again. In about 5 minutes, I'm gonna
Okay,
get
I
really
confirm.
mad. Damn it, Morty. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's move over to spoiler zone. Really quickly. All right. Ben, what did you want to talk about?
Okay, so obviously the scene I was talking about was
The Cronenberg scene.
the Cronenberg birthing scene. Like,
The cursive birthing scene.
yeah, the recursive birthing scene was it was something. Like, you
Nesting doll.
yeah, that was the best Russian nesting doll I've ever seen in my life.
Oh god.
Please show it to me again. I think Jessie Buckley's character, I don't remember her name, but her look when she just walked away from that, it very much captured how I felt during that. It's like, all
Walking away
right,
from the movie.
yeah, it's like, all right, I'm done with this. It's just like, all
I,
right.
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, no, it's just like, and it kept going. It's just like, all right, you finish up there. I'm gonna wait in the other room. It's just
Oh,
like,
you're doing it again? Okay, I'm gonna go over here.
And then another 45 minutes
yeah.
later.
So I mean, I guess it's kind of tackling this whole idea of, like, what is it? Just lineage and not lineage, but
Systematic like
See, so here's the thing. I have no idea what the message, what the thing was going on at the end. So I'm curious for someone to enlighten me.
I think it was trying to say how their, like, toxic traits get passed down, like, from generation to generation, and it just continuously feeds into the next person until you're left with, like, the latest descendant, right? And that's how what's her husband came out at the very end. Like, he
Mhm.
was just a byproduct of all these, like, these other uh
iterations of masculinity, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
perpetuated through the generations.
yeah, and I guess they kind of drove that point home with the fact that she like attacked one of them, and like that wound was like apparent in every other one of the offspring and everything. So, but at the same time, that only happened in like the last 10 minutes of the movie. So it was just like I
Came
felt
out of
like you
left
could
field
have,
almost, right?
yeah, you could.
Who the hell was the tree nymph then?
I don't even know, man.
I will tell you this: like going to this movie, like I feel like there's one common thread that the three of us have shared, right? And I feel like this is very, very similar to a lot of people's. And if you look at the the aggregate Metacritic scores and all that stuff, it's very, very divided, right? There are people who love this film. They're like, oh, finally we get something like this. You know, thank you A24 for kind of giving him the platform to kind of. And then there's the other side where we're all kind of like, what's going on here? And the
I look
movie
at
made
that
a
first
really good
half.
right. The movie made a really good trailer. Like there's really good parts and bits in there. That's why when if you remember like several weeks ago when I saw that as a trailer, I was like, Ben, what is your thought about this movie by one of your favorites, Alex Garland? And you're like, Men? And I was like, yeah. And I would like for once I was like kind of really excited for you. I was like, dude, this is gonna be
You're excited for
Ben,
me.
So
Yeah.
happy for you, Ben.
I'm really happy for you. Actually, that
Congratulations.
and also the fact that when they mentioned that it was Alex Garland that was directing the film, I got excited because I was like, "Oh, I get to ask Ben about this."
Yeah.
And after seeing the film, I'm like, "Man, I really wish it was another movie I'd
Yeah.
ask you about instead."
What a rare miss by critically acclaimed director Alex Garland.
Oh my god,
We're dreading Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely was very disappointing. Like
Like it started off like really with some
Yeah.
really cool it's my favorite part of like the part that made sense of the movie
Mhm.
was when she's going on her walk and she like starts doing her little vocal harmony in the
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
the
didn't
tunnel.
like that. Oh, I didn't like
Oh,
that.
that's
Oh, you
because
didn't like
it's
that
a
liminal
liminal
space?
space, dude. I was gonna
That was-
ask. I thank you so
That's
much,
like my
Stu,
worst
because I was gonna ask.
fear.
We need more liminal spaces.
No,
More-
that's like the worst
more
thing.
liminal spaces.
It's just like, oh, there's a lone dude there, and there's like,
And then he starts running at you and
Yeah.
screeching.
Oh, Stu, you know what we should do? We should write an email or send a letter to Alex Garland.
What is with you in
Create it-
emails?
Dude, we need to write some premise or screenplay or something like that. Send it to Alex Garland. Have him do it. It's called Liminal. That's it.
Just liminal spaces. The
Mhm.
whole movie.
The whole movie. It's to set you off on edge. It's one space after another. She turns left, like
So
at the
Stuart
other
and
end, running towards you. She runs the other direction, turns right, also running toward. Wow, it's just
Yeah. So Stuart and David, this is whoever from Access Hollywood. What inspired you to write the blockbuster smash
it really
hit
came
Liminal?
from us from a divisive place, and we. I don't
No, he's like, oh, we just wanted to mess with our friend who doesn't like liminal spaces.
And we know he's not alone.
What-
He's never going to be alone.
Our favorite part was the metaphor you put in the. No, there's no metaphors. It's just
We just wanted to be the ones bookending Ben as he's sitting in the middle between the two of us, cringing the entire movie. That's what we wanted. Stop reading too much into it. That should be the disclaimer at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. If you pulled anything from this, you're wrong. There's nothing about this. Fuck you, Ben.
There was this part in the movie. I don't know why this part bothered me so much, but I thought there was going to be more to the fact that whenever she was making those phone calls during the film.
yeah.
like,
What the fuck?
yeah, it was just like, oh, there's a screaming guy there. Oh, I wonder what that's about.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it was
Whereas-
nothing.
Let's not explore.
I wonder
anything
how that's
interesting.
gonna culminate
Right.
to at the end. Oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how I felt about it. It was just like a big letdown at the end. It's just like I did a bit of reading on like what all the different things were referencing, and like it just didn't feel like it paid off. Even after reading all that stuff, it's just like, well,
Did the reading tell you there's no payoff for this?
yeah, just turn back.
It's open ended. Stop reading into it. Stop looking it up. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, man, I'm very disappointed, but
Okay.
hopefully Top Gun can fill that void.
If it was directed by Alex Garland, maybe.
But
But it's not.
this one's directed by Joseph Kaczynski, who directed Tron. Tron.
Sean Kane.
The remake.
Yeah, or the sequel, I guess. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like The other thing too, there's probably a lot of like things I remember about this movie. It's kind of like the Darren syndrome, where it's like you remember a lot about things you don't like.
Yeah.
Um, like because in this, for some reason, this stood out to me. Maybe because like it's just like I guess I'm kind of musically inclined, but like she's like, oh, at one point, Jeffrey's like, oh, do you play piano? She's like, no.
Mhm.
But then she's clearly, even before she started playing piano, I could tell she was lying because she was clearly musically kind of had some kind of musical background because when she was doing that little vocal harmony in the
Yeah.
Mhm.
tunnel thing, vocal harmony, that's not just something anyone can just do.
Yeah.
Like if you're not into music or whatever like that, it's not something you just do. So
Well, if she wasn't
Yeah.
a oppressed female, maybe she wouldn't have to hide her abilities,
but,
Stu.
but how is that even related to oppression though? Like the question was, can you play piano? How is that oppressive?
Yeah.
You're inquiring about something you have no business learning about.
What?
What?
Well,
Stop questioning me.
I know that had to do something with the theme of the film, and they made a very obvious point that she was lying about it. It's just I don't really understand how it fits in with the rest of the themes of the movie. It like I said, it felt like a whole bunch of just kind of similar ideas jammed into a box, and it's just like, here you go.
Yeah, trying
So
to put
there was one
the square
theory.
peg in the round hole.
Yeah. Well, there was a theory that's kind of surrounding that. The reason why is that she hid that because she didn't want to be forced to play anything, because there might be something that he would want to hear, and that there's this innate pressure whenever someone says,
That's a little presumptuous.
"Well, that's what that's the reason why. That's why I was being asinine." Just
Yeah,
now.
but I mean, like, that's one thing, but I feel like the rest of the themes of the movie didn't really contribute to that,
They
or
don't.
that
Yeah,
didn't
right.
that
Okay.
didn't contribute to the theme of the movie. So it's just
It's kind of messy.
Yeah.
Is what the what it rounds out to. So, all right, we'll just go ahead and we'll bury that there. We'll move over to our movie for next week. It will be Top Gun Maverick. So, so join us next week, as that will be our movie of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're getting our podcasts. We're available on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and Apple Podcasts. And also check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dos1/2 Cincos. As always, I am your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
I am Ben.
Don't forget to tip your Reiki master. Stay safe out there, and we will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.